Lindsey Graham is taking heat from fellow Republicans. The senator has proposed a federal bill banning abortion after 15 weeks.
The bill is dividing Republicans who believe states should decide the issue. Graham contends that abortion is not a states' right issue, but a human rights issue. CBN's Matt Galka spoke with Senator Graham at the Capitol.
Senator Lindsey Graham's 15-week abortion ban legislation caught some on Capitol Hill by surprise and even caused some Republicans to slowly back away from the idea of federal abortion legislation. Still, the senator hopes that the issue unites Republicans in the lead-up to November's midterms. Graham's proposal is one of the most significant pieces of legislation Republicans have put forward since the decision overturning Roe v. Wade, making abortion a state issue. He maintains it still would be, even with a national 15-week ban on the procedure. Is that hypocritical, though? And what I mean by that is that for 50 years we did hear from pro-life groups about it should be a state's choice. By taking away part of that choice, does that go against the argument we've heard for decades?
I don't think so. I think abortion is not a state right. A baby is not a states' rights issue. It's a human right issue.
Democrats quickly pounced as they see abortion rights as a winning issue for them in November.
The American people do not want politicians in their bedrooms and their doctor's offices. They do not want Lindsey Graham to make health care decisions for them. They want to make their own decisions.
Graham's move also led to a split with some of his fellow Republicans.
Well, I do believe it should be left to the states. That was a point of the Supreme Court decision. With regard to Senator Graham's bill, I think the fact of the matter is our Democratic colleagues don't believe in any restriction on abortion up until the time a baby is delivered. That's an extreme point of view not shared by any civilized place on the planet. I believe that that's the contrast that he was trying to communicate.
Graham feels his colleagues would ultimately vote with him if it ever came to that.
I'm trying to say abortion on demand should stop then because the baby can feel pain. Science tells us when you poke the baby, it responds. Can you imagine what kind of death it would be to be dismembered by an abortionist? I'm trying to stop that. And you know what? If people are okay with abortion up to the moment of birth, they can vote that way. I'm not okay with that. And I'm going to push back. And I think a lot of people listening to this program are glad that people are going to push back. If we don't stand up for the 15-week-old baby, who is?
Pro-life groups celebrated the proposal, with some seeing it as an issue Republican candidates can use to take back control of Capitol Hill.
I think that this legislation is really coming at an ideal time for those who are running for federal office, especially for the U.S. Senate, so that they can say, hey, this is a first step that we can all get behind.
Senator Graham admits that he knows with the current makeup of the Senate, his bill likely would not get a floor vote, but he's confident that could change with a new Congress. At the Capitol, Matt Galka, CBN News.
I don't think there are the votes right now in the U.S. Senate to make a change. But here's the best news, and it's great news. The Supreme Court decided that Roe versus Wade was not based on constitutional grounds. That's been an argument from constitutional scholars since it was decided, that Roe was wrongly decided, and it created a right that does not exist in the Constitution. You have to read it into the Constitution as opposed to it being there. Now what happens is you and I get to decide, and we get to vote. It's a tough issue, and we shouldn't turn away from it being a tough issue. And we need to let our voices be heard. And the best part of it, we get to vote on it and vote for our elected representatives and tell them how we feel and what we want them to do. That is a free democratic republic. That's what we are, and let's put it into practice.